Straight out of the past, the classic green bean almondine deserves a comeback. I used fresh string beans, garlic, and pancetta to bring this humble vegetable into the 21st century. Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Let's Celebrate TV. I'm your host, Peter Lee. On this channel, we teach you all about celebrating. We share recipes for food, hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, and we share entertaining tips too. Now we try and keep everything as simple as possible, especially for those of you out there who say that you just can't cook or entertain, because we know you really can. So if you like this episode, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and watch a new episode every single week. Today, our celebration is a little retro. I'm going with a little side dish. We're making my version of string beans almondine. Now, you're wondering, almondine, really? That's so 60s, that's so 70s. But you know what? It's delicious. It's super easy, with my little twist especially. So let's get started. I have here my one of my favorite pans. I'm using non-stick instead of cast iron this time. Got it on a medium-low flame. I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil, just a drizzle, like maybe a teaspoon. Plain old olive oil, not extra virgin, nothing fancy. To that, I have 8 ounces of pancetta. Pancetta is a salt-cured Italian bacon. So our bacon here in America is smoked and spiced. Theirs is salted and sometimes spiced, but it's cured with salt. It's not smoked. Now I bought this all pre-diced. You can buy it in a big chunk if you want, but if you can find it diced like this, why not? So that's going to go into our pan, and the oil is just going to help it render out because we want to fry this down until it's all crispy little bits and all the fat is rendered out because that's the delicious flavor of it. So this is just going to take a few minutes. Alrighty, this took about 4 minutes and they're ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a slotted spoon and I'm going to pull these out of the pan. Put them right back into my same bowl. And what I'm left with is all of those wonderful drippings from the pancetta. Every bit you can. Okay. Now I'm left behind with all the drippings. It's a little more than I want, so I'm just going to take out a little bit of it. Easy enough to do. Just with your spoon. Or not. You'll just want to take out a couple teaspoons of it. So they're not too greasy. But save this. This is wonderful flavor. Alrighty. Now, I have some string beans. These are just trimmed and blanched. Now all I did was I took a string bean and I just trimmed off this root end where the stem was. I left this other end on. Now I blanched these in boiling salted water. That's where you just plunge them into the boiling salted water for about 30 seconds and then right into an ice bath. And you want to do that so they turn vibrant green and you can see the difference in the color. Now you don't let them go too long or they'll cook through, but this way they're just green and they still have some crunch to them. Okay, now these are going to go into the fat here and saute. This will be dramatic. Hear that? To this, a clove of garlic that I've just sliced up. Right in. Just scatter it in. And we're just going to toss these a little bit. And we're going to let these saute. I'm going to put in a little bit of black pepper because you want to season. You probably don't need salt, but we'll taste these at the end because remember that pancetta is quite salty because it was cured with salt. So we're just going to saute these for 3 or 4 minutes. Just give them an occasional stir and watch the garlic so that doesn't burn. If it gets a little golden, that's fine. Alrighty, so I've been sauteing these for just a couple minutes, and you'll see that they'll start to cook. They'll start to get that little bubble on them from the heat. You don't want to go too far, but you're heating them through and you're allowing them to soak up some of that flavor. Now at this point, we're going to put the pancetta back in, just like that. Give it a toss. You're just going to let it go another 30 seconds or so. Oh, the smell. I wish you could smell this. All right, these are ready. I'm going to cut the heat. I'm going to put my almonds in. Now, I'm not going to use them all. I'm just going to use about a handful, maybe half of them. And all I did with these almonds, I bought them pre-slivered, and I toasted them in a dry frying pan. Now, this takes maybe about 10 seconds because almonds burn really, really quickly. So don't put them on the stove and then get distracted. Stick right with them. 10, maybe 15 if you're lucky. Give them a quick stir, and you'll see them immediately start going golden brown. And we're just going to toss these through. These are ready to plate. All right, I just have this lovely tray, and we're just going to spread all this out. Kind of neatly, haphazardly. You can be very artsy and line them all up, or you can be a little messy. It's fine. But look at this vibrant, beautiful color. So you're probably wondering, what's the point of the almonds in all this? I mean, almondine sounds kind of fancy. Well, you know what that does? It adds a great texture difference. You have that slight crispiness and sweetness from the beans. You're going to have the saltiness from the pancetta. And then the almonds give that crunch. As I throw a green bean on the floor, look at that. All right. Let's get all this and sprinkle it on the top. Delicious. Alrighty, now it's our favorite time. It's time for me to taste. So I've got my wine at the ready. Now I left these whole, and these were fresh green beans. You can use frozen, you could cut these up. I recommend using fresh if you can. But let's just taste them. That's delicious. Wow, it's amazing. These beans still have a little bit of crunch, and they've taken on all that pancetta flavor. So a little salty, a little tangy, and with the almonds, there's a crunch there, and it's bright and fresh. Now look how fast that was, and what an impressive dish. Now if you want to make it even crispier, you could sprinkle more almonds at the end. Go for it. I think a little wine. That's nice too. So as always, guys, we're going to have this recipe up on Facebook and YouTube, just like we always do every week. And keep writing into us, keep sending us your pictures, asking questions. We love it, love it, love it. And we answer every single person that sends us questions. So we'll see you again next Tuesday at 7 p.m. because you're all invited to come on over, come on in, and let's celebrate. Cheers.